Welcome back, folks, to the Print Files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint exhibition floor. My name's Grant McCarran, and I'm joined by Craig Hardman from HP. Craig, welcome aboard.
Thanks, Grant. Well, great to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, mate, you're involved in HP's large format. So, in fact, you're the ANZ country manager.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty big role and a big set of gear.
Yeah.
And, like large format print and so on. How did you get involved with HP?
Oh, mate, I've been with HP 15 years this year, and I've worked across all of the HP parts that we have from our PC division for many years.
Yep.
And about 6-7 years ago, I decided to come across to print and use the skills I'd had on the other side of the business, and I did a number of different parts within the team. And then I guess over the last couple of years, I've been privileged enough to be running the sales team and the large format organization for Australia and New Zealand, and it's been a blast, actually.
Cool. You must have seen a lot of change in large format print.
Yeah.
So one of the big ones that's on everyone's lips is sustainability, and I understand that HP's large format print big into the sustainability these days. Can you talk about that?
It's not just our large format print. I mean, if you look at HP, sustainability is a core pillar of everything we're doing across the company. And I think that the important thing is, I mean, here at PacPrint, sustainability and print for the future is the theme of our show, right? And if I look at sustainability, I look at it two ways. I look at it in the products that are being developed, right, and what's been going into that. But I also look at how do you bring sustainability to life, right? Because you can have that tagline, I wander around the show, it's everywhere, right? Print green, do all these things. But for us is, how do you take that important messaging and those things, and how do you take it forwards, right? HP's just launched its 2021 sustainability report across our company for all the things we're doing. But when we thought about PacPrint is how do you bring it to life, right? So for us, when people come to the stand and we're talking about it, we talk about how the products are made, what we do with ink, etc. But our stand is climate positive, and what does that mean, right? It sounds good. But climate positive is okay. We calculated and we did a lot of work around this with HP and outside agencies, was to work out that we reckon for the HP stand, we're going to use about 29 tons of carbon. Like I was shocked when I heard that, right? It's a trade show stand, and what does that make up, right? It's getting staff into, it's the meals that they're using, it's all the materials that are going to be used for the stand. And when you look at that carbon output, you're looking at about 29 tons, and we're like, okay, we're saying we're a sustainable company and we've got all this. What do you do next? And we worked on how do we offset that?
Yep.
Right. What is the thing we can do for this show as an example to offset that? So there's the Yarra Yarra Biodiversity Corridor over in WA, which is one of our projects that we work with. And we've doubled down. So we're doing about almost 60 tons of carbon offset through creating a corridor and helping that biodiversity program plant trees to offset directly from this show, to sort of show that, we're walking the walk here, right? We need to look at these things. And so that's how you sort of take the messaging, as they would say, and bring it to life. But for us, when we look at the products on the stand these days versus, what it was in the past, you look at development of the materials that go into the products, then you look at the circular economy behind it. How do you take a ink cartridge at the end of it, create something that you can be fully recycled, that then goes back into creating the next one? And I think, we truly believe that that's a leadership position for us, and we set that tone. And look, if everyone else is doing it, I don't see that as a downside for anything, right? If everyone is doing that. So I encourage, everyone behind it to keep doing that, including how do we help our customers bring it to life for brands, et cetera, out there in the market.
Yeah, every little step. You may not be 100% perfectly circular, but hey, you're getting closer every day.
And I think that those are the steps you got to take. You got to set those targets. You got to aim for it, right? If you don't even set the target, you don't even try to achieve, you're going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think companies like HP, and there's others that do that, but we're really focused on, okay, how do you drive it? How do you be accountable to that and move it forwards?
Yep. And at the moment, it's offset, so you're neutral. In the future, it's improved products and so on, so you're offsetting even less.
Yeah, mate, look, I'll give you an example, right? On some of the products we have, up to 20% of building that machine was ocean-bound recycled plastic. We're building that into the machine, right? The rest of the plastic is other recyclables. We created an eco carton for our inks now, right? So that eco carton, all the way down to the chip on the carton, the bladder, everything can be recycled, right? Well, we never used to have that if you go back a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we've looked at that and said, okay, how do we innovate that? Because we know how many ink cartridges are used on printers these days. Fully recycle that. Now, those things will go back into creating the next ink cartridge. So it really does start to play into your product development. And then as a company, what's your social responsibility?
Yeah. And that social responsibility is big, especially when you're trying to recruit the millennials, the Gen Zs especially, and the generation after the Gen Zs. They're looking at that. They're picking companies to work for based on that.
100%. And HP is, obviously a very large company, and we go through that as well. And what you talk about of those new employees coming through, when they're interviewing, when they're coming to say, I'd like to work at HP, they're coming armed with, what is that social responsibility? What are you doing with your diversity and inclusion, right? Do you have all those things happening? And well, we're lucky. We can say, of course, we have a lot of projects involved in all of those things. But you're right, that next generation of print will definitely look like that. And that'll be the difference in the owners of print service providers will be looking for those things. And if we're not helping lead that conversation and then helping those print service providers sell that to brands as you go along, that's our job to assist doing that.
Yep, because your people downstream are looking at you upstream to help them reduce their footprint by giving them eco-friendly tools.
100%, because if you look at the large format market, it's a strong market, it's a growing market, more people are coming into it. But then when you look at the brands that are doing this work and are the client at the end of the day, you can't tell me what major brand doesn't have, and then you just go onto their website, sustainability is really important to us, right? How do you get that message across that there is ways across through everything you do through your marketing? It doesn't have to be just, the people you have or whatever it be. It's how it was produced. What was the workflow that came through with that printing job, right? Did you know we can recycle the materials we're using? Oh, by the way, the process we use for our own environment, we were using non-hazardous inks were through latex and things like that. Brands are starting to ask for that more and more. And I can see that being a trend that will not slow down. And for all the printers out there, if you're not on that trend, someone else is going to get that job because you want to be able to say yes. And I think the responsibility of the suppliers like HP is how do we help enable that, right? And continue to drive that, because that will drive a healthier industry.
Exactly. Well, Craig, this has been a great chat. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up here?
I think, for everyone, it's this show is fantastic. I mean, the team is so excited to be here. It's great to see, all the vendors, putting back in and everyone coming down to the show. So it's been a great experience. And I think all the work that's been happening around, whether it be sustainability, print green, all those things that I've seen at the show is a really welcome change. And you can see the industry moving forward. So we're excited to be here, and it's great to have all of our customers and partners here.
Well, fantastic. Craig Hardman, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's been awesome.
Cool. And of course, thanks to those who've been listening and watching this. You're catching the print files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint exhibition floor, of course, and sponsored by Ball and Doggett. We'll be back soon with another live interview, so stay tuned to this channel.